What's going on, guys? Archer here with another Dark Souls video. This time around I want to talk about the most underappreciated Soulsbourne game, that game being Dark Souls 2. Everybody loves Dark Souls 1, everybody loves Dark Souls 3 outside of, the usual videos people complain about invasions being ganked, whether it's being ganked by invaders or being ganked by the host and his buddies. Long story, we all been through that shit multiple times on YouTube. But Dark Souls 2, to me, is the most underappreciated Dark Souls game from the entire Dark Souls, Demon Souls, Bloodborne series. Everyone loves Demon Souls, everyone's like a little more mixed with Bloodborne. But for the most part, a lot of people are like generally, against Dark Souls 2 when it comes to the Soulsborne series. It gets a lot of hate. I think it's just because there's a lot of reasons why people dislike Dark Souls 2. But I think one of the things that people don't mention is, people don't like things because certain people don't work on it. And Dark Souls 2 didn't have Miyazaki working on it. And I think that plays a role in people's opinions on Dark Souls 2. Like they say it missed that one thing, it missed that direction, or that Miyazaki would give the Dark Souls games. And to me, I think that's kind of like an irrational thought, because you're basing your entire opinion on an entire video game on someone not being there. And it's a common thing. Like, a lot of people, it's not just Dark Souls that has the situation. It happens in a lot of games. There's a lot of people who, they don't play the new Gears of War because it doesn't have Cliffy B behind it. They don't play the new Metal Gear Solid game, well, it's not new anymore, but Phantom Pain, because it didn't have David Hayter and Kiefer Sutherland. So people, like, they generally just dislike stuff because someone who they're used to isn't working on that game. And Dark Souls 2 didn't have Miyazaki. It's people was like, okay, I'm not gonna like this game because it doesn't have, the brains behind the Soulsborne series working on it. And again, it's a very irrational way of seeing things, but it's one factor. It's one of many factors into why people, generally just aren't big fans of Dark Souls 2. When I visit channels that upload Dark Souls 2 content, there's always a number of people in the comments talking about how they don't like Dark Souls 2 and how it's the worst of the Dark Souls games. Now, I've been playing a lot of Dark Souls 2 lately. For those that are familiar with my channel, you already know that Dark Souls 2 was the Dark Souls game I skipped out on. And I played Dark Souls 1, I ignored Dark Souls 2, which it didn't, and I got Dark Souls 3 when that came out. So I recently bought Dark Souls 2, and I've been playing it a lot, I'm enjoying it. To me, it's a very good game. It's the only Dark Souls game I didn't play until now, and I'm not disappointed by it. Now, I don't see why people dislike it. Again, like I said, a lot of people are very irrational people, so they dislike it because of Miyazaki not working on it. But I'm confused at how other people who aren't in that category, dislike it, because it's a very good game in my opinion. Just like with Dark Souls 1 and 2, I'm really enjoying it. The game has a lot more bosses than the other Souls games, which is something some people don't like. They don't like that there's so many bosses, which is weird to me because boss fights are a key component in the Souls series. So why is there being a lot of bosses such a bad thing? Other people want to explore, they want to find lore and all that kind of things. That's great. I love lore too. But one of the key things in the Soulsborne series is boss fights. It's the biggest thing people talk about when it comes to Dark Souls is how hard the bosses are, or how just things like that. And it just weird to me that's a flaw to me. Now, people think that's a flaw, that this game has a lot of bosses. Now, what is a flaw when it comes to bosses is there's a lot of easy bosses. Most of the bosses in the game, as many as there are, a lot of them are easy. Like the Dragon Rider, he's a very easy boss. The little snake chick, she's a very easy boss. The Skeleton Lords are a very easy boss. The first boss you face is a very easy boss. There's a lot of easy bosses in Dark Souls 2. And I can see why that would be a flaw to a lot of people, and it kind of is. But at the same time, a lot of bosses in Dark Souls games are easy. If you go back and play Dark Souls 1, and you play Dark Souls 3, you realize that there's a lot of easy bosses in both those games as well. The thing is, it's the way those bosses scale when you get to like New Game Plus and Plus 2 and Plus 3 and etc. The higher you get in those New Game Pluses, you realize how hard those bosses actually are. The games are very well scaled. And like I said before, when Dark Souls 3 first came out, people talk about how difficult the game is. That Dark Souls 3 fluctuates in difficulty. Like, you'll face an easy boss, and then face a moderately difficult boss, and then you see another easy boss. And Dark Souls 2 is exactly the same way. Like, you'll face some easy bosses, but there's also some difficult bosses. It fluctuates, and I think that's a mental thing that From Software does, and it's kind of the ingenious of From Software is they're making you, they're confusing your brain on what to prepare for. When you see the falling wall that could lead to a boss fight, you're thinking to yourself, okay, I got to prepare for this. It's going to be a tough fight. Then it's not tough. So you think to yourself, okay, the next boss fight is going to be a cakewalk because clearly the game is going to be easy for me. Then that boss isn't. So it's like rotating, and it's not like it's like this boss easy, this boss hard, this boss easy, this boss hard. Sometimes you can go into a boss fight, you'll face one boss fight that's easy, and then the next two bosses you fight will be hard because it's a mental thing, and it's a very proper fluctuation. So even though it can be seen that your first playthrough can have a lot of easy bosses, I think the fluctuation in bosses is actually a good thing. So far, like the one thing that I've noticed a lot of people complain about that I actually agree with is the soul memory thing. It is kind of silly. I agree with that. It is a silly thing, and hopefully we don't see it in the future. I've only done co-op Dark Souls 2 so far once, and that was to help out a friend who just restarted his character. So it doesn't affect me a lot because I don't do a lot of co-op in general in any Souls game. But I can see why people hated that feature, and I really hope that From Software don't bring it back in the future for any game that they create. And it's just a weird feature. There's a lot of limitations to it. I understand the reason why they did it. They want to prevent high level people from invading low level people. It also caused like a lot of confusion in the community. Also, like it brought in like difficulty in people being able to play with their friends. But overall, I think that there's a lot of things that Dark Souls 2 did that makes it a great game. Has some features that I wish were in the other Souls games. The things like poise that doesn't exist in Dark Souls 3. Dark Souls 2 has like literally the best poise in the entire series. And I don't know, From Software, poise does exist in Dark Souls 3. No, it doesn't. In Dark Souls 2, like there's multiple things in Dark Souls 2 that it did very well. And each Souls game, in my opinion, has their own identity. They all have things that make them great. They all have at least one or two things that could have been better. And people will say, well, in Dark Souls 3, that could be invasions could have been better. And those people say that in Dark Souls 2, I think in Dark Souls 2 invasions worked in a way that made a lot of sense. Like it basically some people who like they hate invasions, so they hated Dark Souls 2 for that reason because you can be invaded, regardless. Like it didn't matter if you were, if you had the humanities, or it didn't matter if you were embered. You could just be invaded regardless. And people hated that because people just don't like being invaded. And that's what people always say: if you don't want to be invaded, play offline, and that's what you should do. Play offline if you don't want to be invaded. The question I'll ask you guys is, did you like Dark Souls 2? If not, what about it turned you off that I didn't mention in this video? Leave thoughts in the comment section below. I'm curious on anybody's opinion. I appreciate any feedback. Thank you all for watching.